So I watched that movie Flight Risk. Now I had no interest in this. The trailers looked really bad, and I thought this movie was terrible. I don't really have any positives about it. And this is disappointing because this movie is directed by Mel Gibson, and whatever you feel about him, he's a great actor, but especially he's a great director. Like he directed movies like Braveheart, which I loved. He directed The Passion of the Christ, which I haven't seen. He directed Apocalypto, which I enjoyed but didn't love, but I liked that movie. And he directed Hacksaw Ridge, which I loved. And to think he directed those type of movies. And watching this, I'm just like, Justin's not really all that great in this movie. And this feels like a movie he took for like a pay job, is Justin in this movie. And this just feels like when you think of the movies he directed, which have been seen really great movies with compelling stories, great characters, and you see him direct a movie like this, I'm just like, this really just feels like took he decided to direct this movie for a pay job. Like the dressing's not great in the movie, the script's pretty terrible. It has some really bad dialogue. And when it comes to characters, I didn't really care about any of the characters. Like the main actress who plays Deputy U.S. Marshal, Michelle Daka, she's fine in the movie, but I just feel like her character is pretty thin. Like she doesn't give a bad performance, but I just don't think her character is all that compelling, and I didn't really feel invested in her character. And Topher Grace, who I love him from the '70s show, I even liked him in Predators personally. In this movie, he's basically just playing Alec Foreman from the '70s show. It literally feels like he's playing the same character from the '70s show, where he's this very jokey character. He's kind of at first a little wimpy, and I just feel like he's just playing the same character from the '70s show. And the comedy in this movie is really bad. Like, the jokes with his character don't land. And when it comes to Mark Wahlberg, I really think he's terrible in this movie. Honestly, like he's trying to play this psychopath killer type character, and he just never comes off that into me. And like he's not really in this movie a lot. Like when he kills a person who is person, because Topher Grace is a witness, and you have the U.S. This girl, Yosefi Marceau, who takes him to have to go to trial to confess to this criminal that he's been skipping money from, been taking money from. And so she has to take him to his trial because he's a witness. So they get on a plane, Marco's character kills the pilot who's supposed to fly him there, and you find out that he's a psychopath killer. And you get into a scuffle and they figure it out, and they have him like tied up. And then once you get to that point, he just kind of like is there once in a while when they need to show him, and when he's like tied up, handcuffed to the strap on a plane, it's just him making a lot of rape jokes. His character, which I don't find funny. It's like the comedy in this movie is just so bad, and it feels like like some of the dialogue. I'm just like, did somebody actually write this dialogue? Like somebody feels like he's just improvising, and it's just not very good. Also, the whole like bald hairpiece look they went for in this movie, it just looks so silly to me, and it really made me even take his character not serious more. Like he looks so goofy with the hairpiece and bald head. Where I was like, I cannot take Mark Wahlberg serious as that in this movie. And like I said, his dialogue is mostly consists of rape jokes. Which is just the dialogue is just so bad and not funny to me. And it just the tone is just like it feel this time was I feel this tone is trying to be like this like it's trying to be serious but also slocky in like a really bad way, and I just think the tone doesn't work in this movie at all. And also there's a Michelle Daco, I might be pronouncing the name, so I apologize for that. Who plays the U.S. Marshal, who's transferring Topher Grace's character. Like there's a part of me where they have Marco's character handcuffed. So she's calling it, and you have this guy who's helping out, who's gonna help out, like land the plane, and he's like floating with her, and I'm just like, this feels weird. It's like if like you have this random person who's flown info. He's trying to tell how to land a plane, and I just think it's like, again, tonal wise, there it just feels out of place. And it's just like I said, the script's is really bad. It's just like the story's not compelling. Some terrible dialogue. I don't think it's really in the dressing. I think is mediocre, especially coming from Mel Gibson. Where he's a great director, and this feels like a very mediocre directed movie to me. The accent is not really all that good, and I also have this problem where I'm just like they don't kill him at first because he's the only one that can fly the plane, but the plane has all pilot, and she's getting she's getting directions from this person to tell her how to how to fly the plane because she doesn't know how to fly the plane or Topher Grace's character. But there's so many chances where I'm just like, just kill Mark Wahlberg's character already. Like, I just felt like he didn't really. It just felt like they were forcing him to keep him around, his character alive, and I just felt like he could have killed his. He should have just killed his character. And I don't think the plot does a good job of justifying keeping him alive throughout the movie. So like this movie, I think is just bad. Like to me, it's not even bad in a fun way. I think this could have been maybe a slacky, over the top fun movie, but it's just the script sucks. The dialogue's terrible. The characters are really not interesting. The tone feels all over the place. Comedy falls completely flat in this movie. Mark Wahlberg just feels like he's improvising and he's trying to be over the top and it's just not working. He looks ridiculous with the bald head. I can't take him serious as a threat. And the comedy with the rape jokes of his character just basically being consists of telling rape jokes to Topher Grace's character, and the actress who plays U.S. Marshall, her character was just telling rape jokes to both of them. To me, it's not very funny. Like the comedy just is so bad in this movie. So I can't recommend Fight List. Like I would definitely not recommend checking this movie out. I think this is Mark Wahlberg is one of his worst performances. And Topher Grace, like I said, I liked him in Predators, but I do hope he starts to pick roles where he plays like characters that aren't just like him playing Alec Foreman from the '70s show. So yeah, I would not recommend Fight List in my opinion. Until next time, movie lovers.